Hey guys, first time, long time. Shouts to writing in. I've recently made the decision to eat healthy. I had the doc tell me it's probably a good idea, and I've been a takeout person as long as I can remember. A quick Google search feels incredibly overwhelming, and I was wondering if there are any basic tenets that y'all adhere to. I wouldn't call myself the healthiest eater, but I'm
Mhm.
also on this more of a kick, I guess.
Health journey.
Health journey, yeah. It's it is overwhelming. I think at first, if you're like, hey, I'm gonna go totally healthy because you Google this, it's like this diet and that diet and paleo and keto and
Uh-huh.
processed and this and that and the other thing. It's like, where do you start?
So, this was me 6 years ago, when I did my whole first Whole30,
Hmm.
and I'm not saying that anybody needs to do Whole30, but, this was easier, like, if you kind of pick a lane of shit you wanna do,
Okay.
and then you just find a bunch of Instagram accounts and just start following those.
Healthy
Uh,
Food Crush, I think, is one of them that I like.
I really like Defined Dish Shouts,
Oh, I have their cookbook, her
local
cookbook, I guess.
local Texas girl. Um, I also like this guy named Ronnie who's called Primal Gourmet. He does like a lot of grilling stuff. No Crumbs Left. Terry, my girl from Chicago. She's like a 60-year-old lady. She's
Nice.
great.
Yeah, don't get like
Um,
the Paula Deen cookbook.
yeah. But then there's like Pinch of Yum is also like one of my favorites. She's
Okay.
a true Midwesterner and she'll have like some like healthy stuff, but then like some not
Some
healthy
some
stuff,
buttery
which is
stuff.
fine.
Yeah.
But following those things and then just starting to make recipes, the more you cook, the better you get at it,
And
if that makes
the better you eat.
right.
And this is not like non-spawn here, but HelloFresh has made me a much healthier eater because you realize that you like
You mean Green Chef?
HelloFresh and Green
Oh,
Chef,
yeah, both of
which
them.
are both they're both the same company, so you can say both. They
Oh,
like
okay.
one bought the other, something like that. Um, but one of those subscription services has really helped me as far as especially with vegetables because
Yeah.
you realize you're like a lot of things you like to eat or try new things like basmati rice or
Mhm.
couscous or like roasted carrot. Like they have a lot of ways of getting vegetables in there that taste good still that you didn't really like you would never think to buy
Yeah.
until you're trying to eat a little bit healthier. So my first suggestion would be to hop on a one of those services that sends you the ingredients for each meal. You can kind of
Mhm.
pick the meals and choose the meals and learn how to cook, especially if you're a takeout guy, which I was too in New York. Like that's just
Yeah.
what you do. You're a takeout person. Um, and then two, an easy way, not an easy way, but limiting processed stuff has been sort of my current like super focus.
Mhm.
Like you can do sodium and sugar and carbs and the weight loss thing is carbs in, calories in, calories out is kind of all that matters really. But mine has been limiting processed things.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good way to start. And
Whole30 was good for me because I felt like eliminating pretty much everything and then bringing
besides
it
like bone
back
broth,
was like helped me figure out like what I was reacting to.
sure.
But more so than anything, made me realize, like, if I actually get shit at the store and, like, am forced to cook it, that I can make a meal. Like, a lot of the times when we get takeout, it's not because we don't have food, it's pure laziness. Like,
Yeah, I've been there too. It still
and it
still
teaches
happens. Yeah.
you so there like, this is like Will and I do something where we, like, find a recipe, then we groundhog it till we just, like, get so sick of it. And but there's, like, a couple things that I would make, especially when we're, like, trying to be healthy, like, we would do a lot of hash stuff. So we would do, like, a sweet potato, like, that we roasted, and then with, like, ground beef and some, like, sauteed peppers and onions, whatever.
Hmm.
Basically, that's what I call, like, my stuff on stuff e saute, you
Yeah,
just,
it's
like
like the stir fry kind of deal.
yeah, but, like, what you do is you just, like, roast a shit ton of vegetables, which, again, roasting is vegetables is super easy. You
It's a
literally, like
hack. It's such a hack.
you set the oven to 425,
Hmm.
you toss that shit in some olive oil, spice it up. This is the trick, though, Brent,
Hit me.
okay?
Hit me.
When you're roasting vegetables, you need to give them space because vegetables sweat and then that creates steam in the oven. So if you want your vegetables to be crispy, you can't have them all crowded together on like a roasting pan. You need to have space to set
Okay.
them apart.
I got you.
Okay. Another
Okay.
tip. especially if you're trying to get like crispy potatoes
Air fry.
or, well, an air fryer is great, but like crispy potatoes or Brussels sprouts or
Okay.
something like that is to get the roasting pan, cover it in foil or whatever, or you don't have to cover it in foil. It just makes it easier to clean up. Put the oil in, stick it in the oven while it's heating up. And
Okay.
then when it
Okay.
gets to 425, 450, you pull it out, put the vegetables on, and like the searing hot oil will help
Oh,
make like
okay.
a sear on the vegetables,
I see. I see what
especially
you're
on
saying.
potatoes. Um,
Picking up what you're putting down there,
Literally
Sal.
like roasted shit, the roasted vegetables. Just make bowls. Like this is like our we Will and I just make a shit ton of bowls. You like put some spinach in a thing. My new like current thing that I'm groundhogging is green cabbage,
Oh, okay.
just shredded with a mandolin.
Mhm.
And then you put some roasted veggies or whatever you want, and then you put some sort of protein on there. Uh, you know, we are not plant-based people. We try to do it like one day a week.
Yeah.
Um,
I used to shred the mandolin back in high school.
yeah, love that.
Um, yeah, I think we can get into the weeds on meat and pork and beef and stuff like
But
that,
like
but no
find
need
something you're
to.
good at cooking.
Yeah.
Like we would just make like chicken breasts and then like
Oh,
shred them up. That shit would go on everything for like a week.
for me, it's rice bowls.
Yeah.
I am all in on bowl making now. Love rice, like brown rice, jasmine rice, even white rice sometimes, and um, veggies, protein, spice, carrots, whatever, and just
And
throwing
then
it
the
in.
way
And
that
I'm
you
I'm
make that
absolutely
shit
killing
taste
those.
good for yourself. Cause like I think I learned to cook and I was like, this is okay for me,
Mhm.
but it's not great for other people, I'm sure. You need to one be seasoning stuff properly. So you want to add salt and pepper as you go. If you're making salads and you're like adding cucumbers or tomatoes or something like that, salt and pepper, all of that shit before you add it to the salad. That will help with the
I like
flavor.
that.
But then like toss some sauce up on there. I'm talking sriracha. I'm talking pesto.
Totally. And
Just
there's stuff you can do. Like, for example, I love soy sauce. Who doesn't love soy sauce? There's a healthy alternative. Not healthy, cocoa aminos, right? Coconut aminos. There
mhm.
are a lot of things that you like, perhaps, like buffalo sauce or Alfredo. A lot of things have sort of a healthier counterpart. And you can just start buying things like that, and
Mhm.
it's less processed usually, it's less bad for you, and gives a similar taste. In a lot of cases, like, close enough to be indifferent to a change.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of ways to do it. I don't have any perfect starting point other than I think it's a good idea to get on a subscription food service where you kinda know exactly what you're making, and then turn that into once you kinda get the hang of it a little bit, turn that into buying groceries. I'm not like a meal prepper guy, but knowing what you're gonna eat that week
Yeah.
and kinda plan it out. I think planning your food, planning your dinners, um, makes you more, I don't know, more apt to eating healthy.
Yeah. I'm gonna go home and make some zuppa toscana, actually.
Zuppa Toscana.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nope,
From Olive Garden?
no idea.
It's like the potato sausage kale soup.
Ooh, sounds good. I'm not a soup guy, but
Oh, I fucking love soup. I got all this stuff yesterday because it was like raining. I wanted to be cozy, and then we didn't make it. And now I'm
yeah.
gonna go home, and it's gonna be hot and humid. I actually might push it tomorrow because I think Will and I are gonna go to the Boston FC game tonight.
Ooh, very fun. Very fun. Sally's doing beer for dinner.
Yeah, yeah.